Welcome everyone. We have a special day today. We're still on the Eightfold Path, which for you all, the Eightfold Path is down here, so there's a visual. We actually have a visual on the room, and Pam's going to lead us in that, but I'm going to turn it over to you, and I'll just do the ending. It's lovely.
I'm Pam. I'm excited and nervous to talk today, but I've had so much support. So thank you, Jeff, for asking. What an honor, and for supporting. My friend Lisa for doing the meditation this morning. And of course, everyone here, and Maureen, Tana for helping me organize my thoughts. I'm gonna channel it. And Lisa's gonna give us our opening.
I guess we're getting a workout in meditating, but we have all the noises. It's all a workout. So let's close our eyes. Settle your weight into all your sit bones. Take 3 long, deep clearing breaths. Releasing the tensions and the urgencies of arrival. Sigh it out. Really allowing your weight to sink into the surface that's supporting you and sitting. Let yourself feel heavy in that way. Notice how your posture is feeling. Maybe make an adjustment to stack your bones, bring your spine more straight, tuck your chin, bring some length in the back of your neck. See if that feels more stable. Drawing your focus to the sensations of air moving in and out of your body. Observing any changes in your body as your breath starts to lengthen and slow. Wherever you notice tension, consciously choose to relax that area. The mantra you may choose or not choose to practice today is on the inhale. Breathe in the word and the concept of peace. And let that flow through your body. And on the exhale calm. And feel your body respond. Just keep the inhales of peace and the exhales of calm.
right speech, right livelihood, and I think it kind of goes to follow then right effort. So right effort is my topic today. And before I get too much into my understanding of right effort, I want to share a little bit about just how I got here and how I came to love the Dharma and what right effort is like in my life. It was almost 20 years ago now that Dave and I were traveling in Thailand. And we did the things you're supposed to do. I guess we didn't go to the beach, but we spent a lot of time in Bangkok, which was this insane place. And every little temple we visited was like this fabulous oasis. And orchids were weeds. They were just everywhere. The people were so friendly, and we had the opportunity to travel to Chiang Mai as well. And there's a the king's beautiful palace is in Chiang Mai. And there's an associated monastery and school. And it's a little bit of an elevation, so it was just kind of magical. There were breezes and a little bit of a break from the city and the humidity, and there were chimes and incense going everywhere, and I was just enamored with all of that. And as I was walking through the school, I went through this narrow passageway, just kind of taking in the sights. And when I came out of this little hallway that was so tall, Four Noble Truths were painted. And it changed my life forever. I didn't even know the suffering I was experiencing. And then to have this painting tell me that, have the realization of that, feel it so deeply, feel so vulnerable, and feel so uplifted at the same time, it blew my mind. It blows my mind to think about it. It's almost 20 years. And I didn't realize at that time what I was absorbing. Because I had kids at home, I had a house, I had a mortgage, I had student loans, I had all that waiting for me. But something stuck, and I didn't even know what it was, because I was suddenly drawn to things that I wasn't normally drawn to. A statue of Buddha, a little chime, this and that, candles or flags. I read this incredible book that just kind of came to me. I don't even know where it came from. I didn't understand a dang word of it, but I needed it so desperately. And I read everything. It just, Sanskrit, the words all the same. And I was collecting these things that were somehow contributing to my life, and I didn't even realize how. And along the way, I picked up on attachment. And what is attachment? And what does that really mean? And I realized I have a lot of attachment, but I also realized at the same time that, I want some attachment in my life. I love my husband, I love my kids. I was building a medical career. But I had some big aha moments along the way too, because we had neighbors who were very active in a really big Christian church in our neighborhood. And they would invite us to the Christmas celebrations and the Easter celebrations, and we were at to an Easter celebration. And there was just this pageantry, animals on the stage and a choir and a band and the preacher, and everybody's in their finest, of course. The little girls were so cute. It was just all this joy, and I just remember, I don't even know if I was paying attention or what was happening because I was sitting in the pew and I turned to Dave and I'm like, the realization came over me. I'm not Christian. Any kind of like Christian in my life, but it was also kind of just assumed, that I think I was assumed I was Christian, and I wasn't. And it came kind of as a surprise to me, and I think it came as a surprise to him because he goes, "Yes, you are."
Not been until today.
But I sat with that, and then there was, a little, like another window opened or another door opened, and there was a little bit more of a release. And I could feel it in my body, and life went on, I continued to build my career, and like for those of you who've been in medicine, it's not easy. It's a corporate ladder. It's not all about service and taking care of sick people. So I bought the power pumps, and I bought all the fancy blazers, and I bought the necklaces, and I bought all these things so that I could literally puff my chest out and like give orders to people. And I thought that's what I worked my whole life to do. So that's what I thought I had to conform to, and that's the role I took. And that's how, I just didn't even have any realization how out of alignment that was with who I was. But the day did come where that all crumbled. I was walking into work one day, and someone who knew me peripherally, wasn't, I'd pass her in the hall, and we talked once in a while, and she just kind of stopped me on my way to work that day and said, what's wrong, are you okay? And I was like, got coffee, of course, I don't even know what you're talking about. But I wasn't, and it took days and weeks for like whatever she touched to unfold, and it eventually did. And I started trying to like maneuver within the system to be more happy and be more genuine, and it wasn't working. And I ended up kind of like quitting but getting fired from that job, and that was the pinnacle of my career. That was where I had worked so many years to be. I was supposed to be happy. What a slap! And I had no idea. And by that time, my kids were kind of grown, and I was stripped. And Dave happened to be out of work at the same time. Of course, that's the way it goes, And it was Christmas. And I was like, it's like just piling on. But it was basically like my spiritual bottom, because I just said, I can't do this anymore. I can't do this anymore. I didn't know what I was going to do. But by then I had already had like neck pain and back pain and body pain, and I was doing yoga. And yoga was this kind of like, the safe space for me. And I said, I'm going to Costa Rica. I'm going to be a yoga instructor. And once again, Dave goes, wait, what? You haven't even finished paying your loans yet. So, okay, but he supports me all the time. So I went, and in this naked state, we meditated 4 times a day. I did yoga, 16 hours a day. We ate together, we had silence together, and I was so open to all of it. And I just took and took and took and took. And I still am so grateful for that space. And I came home changed. And I took all those things that I had collected over those years, the Buddha, the mala, the this and that, and I gathered it all up in one of the spare bedrooms because my daughter was gone. She was and I'm like, this is for me. And I gathered it all up in that room, and I meditated Tammy every fucking day since. And that's right effort for me, because when I am in right effort in my life, it's because I'm in right effort in my meditation. And one happens not without the other. And so today I really want to focus on meditation. There's all kinds of right effort.
Can I give an illustration of what I hear?
Please.
And this is not a new illustration, but your story has a lot about swimming upstream. Again, you know, that your nature was something else, your learning, your growth was leading somewhere else, and yet your training was to swim upstream, and I think that's a lot of Western, you represent a lot of us when you say those kind of things.
Yeah,
and the turning point comes when you start to turn from that, and you start to go with the flow of life, the flow of your nature. And that's what I hear in your story.
Sure.
And it doesn't mean that you don't do that skillfully. And you just, whatever happens, happens. That's not it. But that you turn from swimming upstream. That's what I hear in your story.
Yeah, it was a lot of effort.
Yeah. It's a lot of wasted effort.
Yeah.
Not that all those fields are not wonderful, and let's make no judgments about that. But it's hard. It's hard work. And I do marriage therapy, and people who are working so hard at making their marriage work, mostly fail at it because it's they're not going with the flow of how it is skillful. And so I hear that in your story, and I think it's really represented in Buddhist thinking. And Eastern thinking versus Western thinking.
For sure.
Good. Thank you. That was a lovely story. Before you go into the meditation here, I just want to...
Yeah, no. So I thought I'd start with some simple definitions because it's right effort. Right's been defined, upright, wise. Some terms that I looked up were genuine, in perfect harmony, in alignment with. So that's kind of like where I ended up. But also from a trained mind. And as I was putting this talk together, Tana turned me on to Sadhguru from Insight Timer, who said, the most important faculty of your life is out of control. That is the untrained. And so that really stuck with me for right. In my own experience, in alignment with, and then that nice definition where, you know, it's out of control and you don't even know what's happening. And I think for all of us in action, we know right action. It's taking soup to your sick neighbor, or, you know, like how we support Ruthie, and things like that. Effort to extend, stretch yourself, and I have to exert energy, of course, which I've been doing a lot of. But I found a new word this time, and the word was fathom, which I wasn't sure why it was so attractive to me. But I was like, oh, what does that really mean? And to fathom to me meant beyond imagination. It was huge, expansive. It's like everything we talk about with Ruthie and when Mama Georgia comes to visit. It's everything we talk about. It's like the limitless capabilities and possibilities of the mind. So I really liked that stuff. And a definition of effort came up for me by Lama. Lama Karma Geshe Chodron. It's not about striving for success. We all know how to do it. Right effort is a graceful fine-tuning. And for me, that meant listening. And so I also want to define meditation. And the simplest and most accurate, I guess for me, was rest and awareness. We all think we know what meditation is to some degree. We have our own definition. Sitting, with eyes closed, not thinking a thing, in pure bliss, not moving or anything. But I like rest and awareness. And I like it for two reasons. Because there's rest, which we've been conditioned to believe meditation is. And it does give respite, It is a break. But there's awareness, which is where the true potential is, I believe. So my intention for this talk, now it's like half over, is to demonstrate how meditation is a gift. How I feel it's been a gift to me in my life as the purpose to recognize our Buddha nature. What is Buddha nature? Right? We talk about that a lot, but it's still kind of elusive. I put words to it. I think of it as the true, unwavering belief in your basic goodness. I think it is to embrace yourself as pure gold. Pure gold. You are. You better believe it. I am. Pure gold. To recognize Buddha nature is to reset expectations. It's not the effort that it used to be. It's not the upstream effort. It's to strive to live in alignment with reality. What is reality? I don't know if I could define that one. I'm still learning. I don't know that one. But I can tell you what it's not, and it's not the illusion. It's not the dream that we all live in. It's not expectations. It's not desires. It's not accumulating stuff. It's not all the doing that we do. These are the ego. These are the I. This is the mind in dis-ease. I propose meditation as the remedy. It's the medicine. Just like every medicine. It doesn't help just with one dose. Gotta keep touching it. Because we're steeped in success overdrive, sit down on the cushion, we have that image, and the thoughts come, but my mind doesn't stop. I am failing. Why doesn't my mind stop? Doesn't. Welcome the thoughts. That's who you are. You're getting to know yourself. Make friends with your mind. My first meditation instructor. Remember, Pam, this is just about making friends with your mind. Oh my God. It made so much sense, but there were so many obstacles there. The good thoughts come in. Of course. Thoughts come in. I'm having a party Saturday. I'm making a bunch of food. I'm going to see my favorite friends. What should I wear? I look forward to that stuff. The grocery list comes in, the list of things I'm happy to do, and it makes me feel happy, and I'm sitting on my cushion. But I remember then thinking, I feel my cushion. I feel my breath. Bad thoughts come in. Anyone who's been a parent, anyone who's not been a parent, you've made a mistake. It really hit me as being a mom, though. Why did I say that? Was that really the right punishment? Is it, what kind of parent do I really want to be? And just, When I finally got around to finding a sangha in Milwaukee, where I'm from, it was Shambhala. So Shambhala was really the only thing offered. I embraced it. I'm like, oh my God, finally there's something. And I remember attending the Lothar celebration, and we repeated, I am basically good. You are basically good. You are basically good. That box but you are basically good. Remember that pure gold. That pure gold. And by basic, I don't mean like my bathroom's basically clean. I mean at the base, the ground, the root level from the earth. You are born good. Rather good. Part of the reason I connected with Dr. James, because when I sit in his presence, I feel like I know I'm good. And he helps me remember that, even when I'm making mistakes, because I still make mistakes. So when you're done clinging to that thought, rest. Rest in the breath. So that is meditation. Coming back to the breath. That is the effort. I'm not doing it wrong. Being in medicine, I looked up medical reviews on meditation. Yeah, some research on meditation. I settled on one review. Of course, there's a lot out there, but I settled on one review. Which, if you don't know, a review in medicine is taking 50 articles, 200 articles, reading them all, gathering the information, and like kind of stratifying it to draw a greater conclusion. So I read a review of all these other articles. And it was on meditation. Meditators, non-meditators, Tibetan meditators, Zen meditators, people who meditated 8 weeks, people who had 10,000 hours, lifetime meditators. They used MRI, they used EEG, they used blood draws, they used self-report, so the participants would report. People talked about the monkey mind. People talked about falling asleep and too drowsy. Interesting. Because those are actually the two complaints, or, the feedback. The feedback that most people get. I get so relaxed I fall asleep, or I can't stop my mind. And what they learned is that there's a midline structure in the brain, or really it's kind of pieces of other structures of the brain, called the default mode network. Isn't that the best name? The default mode. When that network is active, we feel more drowsy, feel relaxed, and the mind wanders. The monkey mind. It's more active in new meditators. So they had a select group of non-meditators that they had meditate for 8 weeks just leading up to the study. And they noticed this and that. Over time, starting at 3 months, so 4 additional weeks, over time, and especially in the 10,000 hours plus lifetime meditators, they noticed an increased awareness, alertness, attentiveness. People performed better on task-oriented tests. Doing this, I don't really know what the tests were, if they were doing blocks or what, but they were given a task and they were performing better. They were able to focus better. They reported better energy. They reported decreased fatigue. When their blood was drawn, they had increased levels of serotonin and dopamine. And if anybody's lived in the modern world, you know those are that natural happy drugs. Pretty impressive. But that just goes to the point. Come back. It's a medicine you take every day. It doesn't work if it's just once and once. And I want to say, and we'll get to some tips in the end of the other class, doesn't have to be an hour. It doesn't have to be 5 minutes. Just start with one. Like somebody I went to. So we know, we've been told, we've experienced the rest, the relaxation. We had it this morning. Helped you calm, helped me to calm. Thanks. Helped me sit in my chair. But I want to talk a little bit about awareness and why that's important. Because to me, that's where the transcendence lies. I mean, if we're really talking about what is the Eightfold Path for, it's to become enlightened. And that is through awareness. It's not, it's waking up from the dream. It's looking at the reality, seeing this as an illusion. There are 3 types of awareness. The third is pure awareness. I have no idea what that is. I can only imagine that is enlightenment. I perhaps have touched it in those moments where I shifted acutely in my life and went to yoga teacher training. Maybe that's pure awareness, you know? The ones I want to focus on today are normal awareness and meditative awareness. And in true Buddhist fashion, there's another little breakdown. So in normal awareness, we have present and distracted. And I'll give you an example of what distracted is, because you'll know it immediately. It's when you get in the car, you pile the kids in the car, you're going to dance class, your son is talking about how he doesn't want to go to dance class, he doesn't want to do his homework, talking to your husband about getting dinner ready, what you can have for dinner. You've already worked the full day. Suddenly you're at dance class and you don't know how you got there. Awareness is always present, but you were distracted. Then there's normal awareness, which I think we all have some practice with. It's what we do when we sit here and do our opening meditation. We listen to the fans, and we listen to the saws. You know, it's when you're on your walking machine, and you pick the flowers, you notice the flower, and you see the beauty of the flower, and you smell the flower, you see different shades of pink, and this corner is white, and how deep it is, and you're really there with that flower. You are present. That's present awareness. It's important. It's necessary. It's beneficial. At that level, you're already benefiting. Level. In that experience, you're already benefiting. But if you want to be enlightened, if you want to open that door, you want meditative awareness. That's the recognition of awareness itself. We don't really talk about that all the time here, but we've been exposed to it. It's Thich Nhat Hanh. Know you are breathing. Present. Feeling the breath in the body. Recognition. It's almost like there's a third person in the room. You have the doer, you have the brain, and then you have recognition. It's knowing that you are seeing the flowers. It's knowing that you are feeling the breath in the body. It's the observer. It's watching yourself have those thoughts. It provides just enough detachment in my world to give me grace so that I'm not judging every thought, so that I'm not clinging to every wild emotion that goes by, that brings itself, you know? I'm knowing that I'm having that experience, and it's okay. I'm basically good. true meditative awareness is where freedom lies. Freedom from suffering. Freedom to explore what happiness means for you. You don't have to be Buddhist. I'm not Christian, apparently, but you can be. Meditate. The untrained mind is busy all day long, doing this, doing that, thinking about dinner when you sit down to breakfast. And at dinner, not even remembering what you had for breakfast. Once there is recognition of the mind, it carries you through the day. This is the effort. So the effort starts on the mat, and then it informs the rest of the day. It's like keeping one eye on the mind while you're doing. Because the doing doesn't stop. But I have one eye on the mind. The mind has one eye on the doer. Is that in alignment? Is that in alignment? And I have an experience where, I was living in alignment the best I could just a moment ago. April Fool's Day. April Fool's Day with a guest come to our procedures. And we've had a string of guests come through recently that know how to work the system, know how to get a free stay. And I didn't see it coming initially, and then I saw it coming, and I made a judgment. And I went with that judgment because I got burned. You're not going to burn me. Done. And I held steadfast, and it resulted in me barely suppressing the anger. But I know, I've meditated enough to grow that awareness, where I can't actually say all the things I want to say, but what I could say was, you can have your money back, and it's time for you to leave now. But the anger came through, and the guest felt it, and I'm guessing there was some harm done there. And I know for me, in the resultant days, there was harm. I suffered because of my pain. I suffered for a few days. In the past, I held on to anger for long times. Years. I feel so grateful. I see where I need to continue to work, but I see already the benefit in my life. It's direct for me. And I took that experience and sat with it every day. Ooh, the thoughts were coming. And I just take that breath. I'm basically good. You are basically good. They are basically good. They're pure gold. That person's suffering. I'm suffering. Who wants to suffer? I have a tool not to suffer. I have a medicine. Outside of that, I think meditation has provided me with some clarity as far as my purpose. If I look back in my career, I see that all I wanted was to be in service. And that's why I said yes to speaking today. I didn't want to really speak today. But it's time to be in service. It's time. I've gathered. Now I've put all the groceries in my cart. I've been shopping for 20 years. It's time to eat. To share my meal. Meditation has given me an improved sense of well-being and connection to myself and to others. I share meditation with others. I know how to sit with others. I know how to sit with myself in those difficult emotions. And it has somehow, even in a busy life, given me more time. And maybe it's not quantity, but quality. Because appreciate the beauty. I try to appreciate the difficulties. And I know in all of this there is more freedom and happiness and joy. Simple. I forgot my phone today. I have no idea how long I've been talking.
I was going to ask if you wanted some people to interact.
I have tips on meditation.
I
think we all know
kind of
how.
have a sense of time, and I think
Okay.
this would be a great time to do that.
Okay.
Okay? I don't have my phone on either.
I promise no answers other than my own experience.
No, and also this is just a dialogue.
Dialogue.
It's 10 to 11.
Oh, we're great.
Perfect.
We're great. There's wealth in the room
Yeah.
of knowledge and experience as well, and so that's what a sangha is about. Thank you. It's really
What an
wonderful.
honor.
Wonderful. Really heartfelt too. I like that.
Oh.
Somebody else questions, thoughts about the topic? Yeah. Fun?
No.
No. She's giving you a hug from a distance. There's a lot that you talked about that I have talked about. The one that really is a trick. Not a manipulative trick, but a real challenge, a real art form is becoming an observer. That one really always hits home. I was hoping that you would use that word and you were leading up to it and then you used the word. And I was thinking observer the whole time, where you not only are involved in life and what is being presented to you, but you are an observer of yourself. When you get to that, that is an enlightened meditative spot, even in the middle of busyness. So that is such a skill that I want to encourage you all to work toward. I am better at that now.
1 minute, 1 day at a time.
Right, yeah. Right in that moment is my chance to observe myself. If I have to observe 10 minutes later, I probably messed up a few things along the way. So the closer I can bring that to the reality of the moment and becoming an observer of myself, because in that observation comes the freedom of choices. All of a sudden, you don't have to do what you're going to regret later. You understand that you don't have to, and that there's another path. When you become an observer, that happens. Do you all experience that when you can observe yourself? Yeah, I'm seeing a lot of nods in the room. This is a real important practice. I'm glad you said it. Thank you. Somebody else?
Oh, sorry.
Yeah,
I'm gonna start sobbing.
Sorry.
it's okay, we allow that here.
Bring
Man,
it.
you touched me so deeply. I just really appreciated your talk, and I've been off my path for a long time. And I did my teacher training 2007. No, before that. Anyway, it doesn't matter.
This is
I-
yoga teacher training?
Yeah, after I retired, I taught yoga. I was a school psychologist. Yoga was way more fun.
I can only imagine.
And I chanted because I didn't only have a monkey mind. My monkey mind was drunk. I had a drunken monkey mind. And my yoga teacher said, just chant, just sing, just chant.
Beautiful.
Yeah, and she'd given me mantras, and I'm like, it's not working. And so I started singing and chanting. I did it every day, for a really, really long time. And then I had a terrible bike accident, and I missed a day. And I went, well, that's it.
Yes.
That's what I did.
This is crazy.
That was a long time ago. And I've had a lot of trouble getting back. A lot of trouble. So thank you. I need to take a turn. Thank you so much. That was really
been busy, and now you need to get busy in a
Now
different
I
way.
need right action. I need right effort. I need all of them. Yeah.
Linda.
I'd like to say thank you as well. I really feel I got to know who you are. I love your little giggle. I love everything you said and that you left your field, your awareness of let's move on. I did that too. I had a business. I had 14 staff and I just wasn't happy. So I had the courage to leave it. I sold it. But so you became a yoga teacher. She was a child psychologist and she became a yoga teacher. When are you going to become a yoga teacher?
It ain't happening.
Never say
And
never.
the last thing
No,
I want
never say never.
The last thing I want to say is that I have a hard time being disciplined to meditate. I have a short attention span, real short. So I like what you said. I'm going to start chanting
Yeah.
because I like chanting.
Yeah. Check out Deva Premal. Deva Premal. She doesn't chant it how it's supposed to be, but it's beautiful. Beautiful stuff.
Why don't you make sure that you get that and we'll put that on the Dharma page,
Oh,
on the
okay.
Facebook page,
Sure.
so that other people can see it.
Because once you find her, then you find, a whole bunch of others.
Thanks for the reminder, Robin.
Yeah.
That's one right into my practice.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Do you want to say something about that, Lisa?
Oh, just years ago I used to chant with a group, and it was just being so close to that enlightenment in those moments. It felt like, and then found my own end after doing it at all, and then just forgot.
Well, 3 people is a group.
Absolutely.
We should. I was saying that to Sharon last week. I love the chanting group.
Good.
I wish I wasn't leaving.
Hannah has something.
I just wanted to thank you for your courage and your authenticity. You had me in tears half the time we were talking because it was just feel coming off of you. The impact that Dharma's had on you, and it's inspirational. I mean, a lot of us can let our practice, slacken or disappear altogether. I looked at my Insight timer, and during COVID, there was 6 months missing of practice. I'm like, did I lose my phone? Oh no, I got depressed in there, and I decided I got a case of the spirits, and I just did a loop every day after many, many years. It's really easy to let it go. So to have an inspirational chat like what you just gave us, and from the heart, it's just so beautiful. Thank you so much. I hope you do more talks.
She does too. I want to add to the chanting thing because you brought this out in your talk. To start small, but honor the commitment of starting small. Many people who I do therapy with really need to be more reflective and spend time. So the usual therapy one is journaling. But the one that I found a series of guided meditations that are 5 minutes long with someone who's a little spacey, with someone who's a little, a man who's kind of dry, and I have all these, and then I think with the client, which of these would I send to them? And I send them that link, but it's 5 minutes. I'm asking them to focus and let somebody else focus them until they can focus themselves. So if you have trouble starting, there's so many resources like that just available to you under 5 minutes. If you do 5 minutes, after a while you'll want to do more than 5 minutes. I guarantee you. But if you start with a commitment to 5 minutes, it can grow, or maybe it just is 5 minutes. I've stayed with the loving kindness meditation, and mine really, in the swimming pool, daily only takes me 6-7 minutes. I've done that since I came here. It's changed my mind. Therefore, it's changed my actions
Yeah, sure.
and choices. Those all kinds of things. So,
Keep
yeah,
tough
use
children,
the resources that are
Yeah.
available.
Yeah.
I think Dan had something.
I just want to say thank you so much. I was deeply inspired, and one of my favorite questions to ask people when I meet them is like, especially if I've met them through some spiritual event or something, it's like, what brought you here? Like, what's your journey been? So it's been very beautiful to hear your journey and your strong testimony for meditating. That is it's the right effort. Yeah. And you know, it's meditation changed my life when I was just so incredibly stressed with engineering school, and I would even go and meditate in the bathroom stall. It felt like the only private space that I could meditate. And so it's such a powerful practice, and one of the things that's really helped me with my ADD brain is to do some breath work or embodiment first, to allow my mind to get to that place that allows it to really receive the meditation. So if anybody else here struggles, like, I find that an embodiment practice, a hike or breath work or something really helps me. And one of my shamans, after my first ayahuasca experience, he said, to summarize it all, after he just gave like an hour-long, channeled wisdom speech, was just sing and dance. And so basically to also recommend the chanting and how powerful that is. It's like a form of active meditation. So thank you very much for your speech today. Me too.
There's also a walking meditation right over here on the other side of the pavilion, which is also another form of meditation. Many tools of meditation. So depends on how you can focus. And so use whatever works for you.
So can I follow up with a question? It's like, what have you found those days where you wake up and you're just like feeling lethargic? Do you just get on your mat, or do you have some form of, or how do you sequence the timing of your meditation as well?
That's a valid question, because it's changed, and I of course have gone through. When we first moved to Costa Rica, and I was completely thrown off of, I didn't have my little room, I didn't have all my little tools, I didn't have all this ritual in place. I laid in bed. And did it from bed. It was brief. Or I did a guided meditation until it just took time and self-love and patience and knowing that faith that it didn't really go away. I guess, in alignment's in alignment, and I felt like once I had some of that, I had some confidence that I would be able to go back to that. But it was hard. I laid in bed. I did it guided. Walking meditations, or those chanting has been helpful to me of late, but I don't have that time. So
Water is really good as well. The fluidity of being in water and meditating is a really helpful tool. That can really aid that. And so and the water illustrations are all over the research. And so you're just right in the middle of how you can go with the flow of what is happening right here, and then you're in a more fluid situation. Takes you away from some of that Western boxed thinking. So
I'm not a writer, but I've heard other people say too that they just write, and it's just kind of look at it or not.
Given water, I was just thinking, people have a pool or something, they're going to cool off in the middle of the afternoon, and maybe you might not think of meditating. Use that as a moment to cool off.
I'm one of those undisciplined people. But in the past decade or so, before I had a bunch of injuries, I was a distance runner, and it's like, and I don't know if any of you have been a marathon runner, but when you hit that wall, and all of a sudden your brain just goes into a completely different place. And that's what I always thought was what a real meditative state would be. It's dangerous when you're moving and you're on a bike or something like that, but it happens. I mean, it clearly happens that you're just not connected at all. You know? It's pretty nice. It's pretty wonderful. But again, you could run into a car. You could do all kinds of things. And actually, I have a friend in Silverton, Colorado, that they have the what's it called, the Red Bull. This massive 100-mile run through high mountains, and they assign runners with each person that does 20 miles. They do 20 miles because these people will literally, after 50, 60, they'll run right off a cliff.
Wow.
And so they have to be, they have to be tethered and all that because they're not in contact any longer.
Sure, some tips.
Yeah, you can say that.
Whatever posture works for you. Know that each day is going to be different. And that's why I say you're basically good. You can't change it. So if you're having an off day, or a day where you can't get out of bed, roll with it. Don't allow yourself to sink too deeply into that, but know that you're basically good. And you'll get up and you'll do it the next day. Changing posture. Obviously there are different types. We talked about chanting and singing and walking and writing and what else? Sensory. I benefited from having a dedicated space, but that doesn't mean we have to have that. Not everybody does. And then I would say perhaps you can welcome that into your meditation, whatever it's like welcoming the thoughts. Even in a dedicated space, the thoughts come. Even in a noisy space, you don't have a dedicated space, the sounds come, the distractions come. And it's just part of the experience. We've already said do a little every day. You're not going to be a professional immediately. For those of you who feel tired, open the eyes, change the gaze. If you do have a picture or something that you're looking at, look at your picture and then relax. It's normal to feel a little tired as well. You can change your gaze or change your posture. And maybe if you're distracted after 3 minutes, just quit for a bit. Allow yourself to do that.
The other thing is, find a time where you're the least distracted, or there are the least amount of distractions. Mine is before everybody else gets up in the morning. And now that I'm older, I go to sleep earlier, and I get up a little bit earlier than other people. That is my time. That is so. Find a time where you are, set yourself up for success with it.
Sure.
And there's nothing like when the birds start chirping and the jungle is coming alive. There's no better. It's like the best energy of the day. The sun is not quite up yet. This is about 5:15 or before. It's there's I think the Irish call it in the gloaming. Is that it?
What?
It's called in the gloaming. It's the transition between night and day and day and night.
Because
the magic
dusk.
that's in the air.
Yes. If you're not a morning person,
Yeah.
dusk has a very similar magic too. As your day is winding down, as you're getting ready to be quiet, go into rest.
So pick a time that's right for you.
There's an old Buddhist joke. Guy goes to his teacher and says, I don't have a half an hour to meditate every day. You don't have a half an hour to meditate every day? An hour for you then.
Do you want to do the big thing?
Yeah.
Oh, no.
I would just have one question. I would ask you, how do you use water for meditation?
I have a swimming pool, a small swimming pool, and it's got a beach entry, so you walk into it, so it's angled a little bit down, and then it goes to deeper. I sit right in this. That's my meditation spot. So that's my room. Like, I sit right there, so my legs, I do this posture. And when I do that, surprisingly, we have some workers. Sometimes it's during the day when workers are coming by, and when they come by and they've seen me doing that, they're quiet. They know that there's something going on there. So it's only when I'm in that spot when I'm just swimming around and stuff. Yeah. But I try to do that when there aren't people around, which is to me the beginning and the end of the day. And that spot, I go to that spot, and of course there's an infinity edge, and then this huge mountain thing. It's just like the setting's perfect for the magic to appear. So you have to set yourself up for the magic to appear. I like using that word because there is magic to be had. That's why that Rumi poem is so great. You know, it is that we do a Rumi poem, which I don't have here, so I shouldn't even mention it. But you know, it really talks about going to this spot that's almost between the worlds. The breeze at dawn has secrets to tell you. That's don't go back to sleep. It's great. It's great. And if you go back to sleep, Pam says it's okay. There's tomorrow. The sun will come out tomorrow. Should we do loving kindness?
Yeah, last time I talked to Ruthie, she said that sometimes she wakes up in between 3 and 5 a.m. and she goes and sits outside and meditates. Or she just exists in that space. And she said it's so quiet. She can hear the waves, because she can't hear the waves from where she's at, you know, way up in phase 6. But between 3 and 5 in the morning, when there's no other sounds anywhere around there, she can hear the waves.
It's actually her fan, but she thinks it's the waves.
Waves $59.95. You know, one other thing about the timing thing. Does your timing shift not only because of age, but because of Costa Rica? It calls you to bed earlier and to rise earlier.
Yeah.
The whole environment, it just changes that. And even short-term guests. Not you, Linda, huh? No? A bunch of short-term guests who come and stay with us. They're just like, this is really another life, isn't it? And I'm like, it is. And they're not talking about meditation. They're just talking about the Costa Rica lifestyle and how it changes, how it challenges you to change. You know, so there's still people who sleep till 8 in the morning. And I'm like, well, you missed it.
Yeah.
You missed it. The magic was here.
I think they hire the howler monkeys to kind of scream into your window, too, at 5 a.m.
Right.
Get up.
Anything else? Otherwise, we'll do loving kindness meditation. Pam, that was lovely.
Yes.
Thanks for asking.
Thank you. We'll ask again. All right. I think have you guys done loving kindness meditation? Okay, perfect. Everybody's on track. So, quiet. Still. I'm going to start with you. Give yourself these wishes. I wish you well and health. I wish you peace inside and out. I focus your attention on someone you love, the first person that comes to mind, with the same wishes. Picture them. I wish you well in health. I wish you peace inside and out. I wish you happiness or love. I wish you honesty and integrity. And there are neutral people, people who we don't know well, but we might come in contact with, neighbors, servers, friends, gas station attendants, whoever. Someone neutral, same wishes. Picture them. I wish you well in health. I wish you peace inside and out. I wish you honesty and integrity. I wish you happiness and love. And now there are difficult people for us, or difficult circumstances that we're in. Picture someone who either has difficulty with you or you have difficulty with them. Same wishes. I wish you well in health. I wish you peace inside and out. I wish you honesty and integrity. I wish you happiness and love. And then lastly, you think about everyone, everything, everywhere. The whole mass of all of life on this planet, other planets, and we offer the same wishes. I wish you well in health. I wish you peace inside and out. I wish you honesty and integrity. I wish you happiness and love. Come full circle from you to the whole world. This is loving kindness. Namaste. By the way, that's my version of loving kindness. You each can make up your own set of how those variables come through. But that's the traditional 5 sources. Yourself, someone you love, someone who's neutral, someone who's problematic, and then the whole world. It's a beautiful circle. So let's do our benediction. This is from the what did you say? Unitarians. The Unitarians. So we do this up here. Say this together.
Go in peace. Go making peace. Living gently. Loving mightily. And bowing to the mysteries.